Hello there, my name is Rachel. The first time you see my channel, you review cartoon series, anime series, or something computer random, and today we're going to talk about the final season of Big Hero 6, Season 3. And how I'm feeling after watching the whole series, the final one, I feel sort of disappointed in a way, but not angry or upset. It's just sort of, it was okay. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it because I feel the whole three seasons here always was okay, especially the first season that I feel was the best after season two. So was okay, but not as strong as season one. And season three just sort of just gave up, I guess, and the best way to describe it. But the most I keep watching on season three, and I'm trying to understand what the writer's trying to do. I kind of realized season three was basically a kind of goodbye season. Not because of the final season. The whole season felt, I think the best to describe it, almost like an analog kind of a series, like final end. When I mean analog, I mean more like this is what can happen to each character. Give you sort of a hint to each character what they're gonna do next, and that is sort of interesting after the show ended because the show did focus sort of the main villain, the final sibling of Obake, Worker Boy. There we go. He was supposed to be the final villain, and I think that's one of the biggest disappointments because you expect the final man to be a threat, something like a game changer, something that can change the characters physically and mentally, and you want to see them sort of break down and just rise up with the challenge. I mean, that's what you expect the final season should be. But no, they decided not to. I mean, they sort of tried with Burger Boy to figure understand why he wants a family after you Big Hero 6 destroy his sister and his father, and he's just left. He tried to sort of adopt different machines as his own siblings, and try to fill that sort of gap. That itself is interesting, but once more, Burger Boy never was super deep in layer as a character. He was sort of an oddball. So I can see what they're trying to do is sort of comfort the final season, sort of give it kind of like a kickback, don't make me think, just sort of have fun kind of feeling. And be fair, they did. Most of the episodes were pretty fun, pretty likable. But unfortunately, they make another interesting sort of bad choice is that when what they did with Fred. I mean, he's not a very competent character. He's a wacky, over the top, but he was sort of flanderized with this season. If you don't know why I'm trying to say flanderized, I meant more that they made him a sort of a specific one note character. Never developed, never add anything, just that sort of dumb-witted, doesn't have consequences type of character. And I think this is the reason why I felt he was the weakest link of this season because they removed something else very important. Betamax. Don't be mind. Some of you probably type down says no. Betamax, what's there? I mean Minimax. I'm sorry, but Minimax is basically his yin to his yang. Minimax was his common sense. Remove Minimax from Fred without Minimax, it doesn't make sense. There's a reason why you create that small character to help Fred to be balanced, and they removed them. I mean, don't worry, he did came out in the season a couple of times. I think my favorite episode it was sort of the virus took down Big Hero 6 lair, and all the Tanachi became sort of like royalty from the old ages, kind of like England, and Hero and his team trying to break in back to their own lair to take it back. That was sort of fun. That was interesting, but once more, they use Fred as the person who removed the story, who pushed the story along, and that's why I think kind of bothers me that every time you use Fred as a character who pushed the story, and he wasn't that. He never was that. He's the guy who basically kind of couple of steps ahead of everybody because he knows superhero stories. He knows all the tricks, cliches, and dramas. and they didn't use him that way. And that's the thing that kind of bothered me this season. Luckily, not all the episodes he was focused on was ruined. Some of them just didn't work because they're trying to add that Flanders type of character in that specific episode with Fred removing Minimax. And I think that's why some of the episodes didn't work with focus on Fred. Besides that, I think one more thing that I feel was sort of okay is the end. How the whole series kind of wrapped up, how they took down the mascots. Just sort of kind of obvious, sort of clever, but at the same time, and yeah, wrapping up a sort of storyline that left off season 2. That was the chef samurai. I can't remember her name right now. That they made a sort of a deal to help them to take down the mascot, but they betrayed them because of her. You see the final episode, you know what I mean. That was sort of unexpected. At the same time, I guess it was okay because how after that they decided to reprogram them or at least give Burger Boy what he wanted. That sort of need, that sort of family he wanted, to put him in the coffee shop with his aunt, so feel that sort of gap, and that itself works for a little bit. I mean, it was more. I wanted this sort of grand ending or something that I feel something with Hero sort of develop a little bit more, understanding he will be sort of alone. Of course, once more, they sort of covered that in the other episode, so I can see why they went that direction. Now, besides all, quite a few nitpicks, I'm sorry if this video basically was negative. I'm trying not to be negative, but that's kind of the truth. The show was sort of mixed for me. But it did have a lot of good things. I think one of my favorite things about this episode is about Hero sort of kind of becoming a teacher to this other student that he has equally a talented young man trying to convince him to join the school. And that was sort of interesting because you see what his other teacher trying to do with him, trying to make him a good straight student, someone who has a future. Just don't ruin it, just focus, join the school, give your life meaning. And you see a lot of things with this other student that Hero could not control, and I love that. That sort of irony, all the things he did to the teachers, not sort of paid back to him. Realize, yeah, this is my responsibility to teach this young student the right way, the right pathway of his own knowledge. That was like, yeah, that I like that. I also like how they also focus on one more episode of Go-Go. They realizing she wants to become a teacher, or at least interesting being the teacher. And that one also enjoy. Okay, that's another episode focuses on Fred that I didn't enjoy, but it sort of hinted, yeah, now he has a girlfriend. It wasn't a strong episode, but once more, at least I know what he's doing the rest of his life. The only two characters is they didn't have much focus on is Wasabi and yeah, Wasabi didn't really have a focus episode. I mean, because I feel Wasabi, you know what's Wasabi. He doesn't need a grand ending. You know he'll probably be doing the same thing. So I can understand they didn't do much with Wasabi. But with Honey Lemon, they're actually trying to focus on her being less trusting with other people. And that's it. I guess, I mean, Honey Lemon and Wasabi didn't give that much care for this season. I mean, except for Honey Lemon got about being 1 or 2 episodes, and that's it. Focus on her. Yeah, I feel Wasabi got a shitty arm without any episode for him, but once more, it's Wasabi. He's panicking, he probably get better. That's it. I mean, you don't think you need a dedicated episode. But besides that, the whole series was okay. I think the best episode was the first episode of the season. That was sort of interesting to see Hero panicking that all his friends is basically leaving him. While understanding, yeah, it's time to grow up. That's the only episode I wish they would remove that to put in the very end instead. But besides that, it was great. It was okay. I mean, there's no way else to describe it. I have one question before I actually end this season. I mean, this video. That how do you feel about this season? You feel betrayed, or you feel was okay? You was sort of satisfying, or you just screw it? I don't care. I wait for the next new reboot show. They Disney Plus is gonna give us Big Hero 6. Yeah, if you don't know, they're gonna do a new series on Disney Plus. Maybe that's why they ended up doing this sort of season kind of half-ass. But besides that, I got really nothing else to say. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.